good connection between like martial arts and
Yes.
like
You got a high level kick and a
flipping.
high level flip twist move all in the same combo.
who's gonna do it next?
Right? What's up, guys? Today's guest is a professional tricker and the owner of Bay Area Hustle Team. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Mr. Keenan Carr.
Woo.
What's up, boo boo?
What's up, Ed? What's up, Travis?
Yo,
I'm excited to
welcome.
be here.
I know, man. And what's really crazy is that you actually live in Los Angeles now,
I live in LA. Well, you can say Santa Clarita, but it's kind of in LA.
but you're way closer than you normally were in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And you actually get to train at Jam every so often now. So
yeah, I'm super excited. I love Jam.
We're
Been
stoked
coming
to
there
have like
since it
just
opened.
we've like swooped you up into the Los Angeles community now.
Yeah, dude, it's been exciting. It's been a journey.
Hell yeah! So what brought you out here to LA?
Yeah, so I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from Menlo Park, California. Lived there for my whole life. I kind of went through this patch of kind of trying to figure out things. Kind of was feeling a little stuck. I was at a university for a year. Kind of left. Kind of went and traveled and kind of figured myself out. Came back and was really motivated to go like back into school. And I kind of wanted like this, kind of like a fresh start.
Okay.
So I kind of moved out to Santa Clarita.
Nice.
Went back to school. Was training and just kind of getting into whatever I could get into.
That's awesome. Are you studying anything specific right now? Or are you just doing
I'm trying
your generals?
I'm going to community college. I'm trying to get enough credits to transfer.
Okay.
Trying to finish my business degree.
Dope. I know you've been taking it serious, though. I saw like at one point you got a 4.0 one quarter.
Yeah, it's my first time getting 4.0. Like, kind of growing up, like I was always pretty good at school,
Yeah.
but like, I didn't really try to where I like 100%. And this time around, I was like really motivated and I like wanted to finish. And,
Yeah.
and,
And I think it's cool for you to talk about that kind of candidly, because like I'm sure a lot of kids can associate with that, like not.
Yeah,
putting...
no, it was tough because like going through like there was like a 3-year window where I wasn't going to school and it was just kind of training and working and it was tough going back into it. Like it was like I don't think I'll ever be able to do this, but it was like take it day by day, kind of figured out what kind of study techniques are good for me.
Totally.
Kind of getting into some routine and trying to figure that out. And I've like really enjoyed the process of getting back into it.
Yeah. Do you see any parallels between like your training and your mindset you have with training in school, or were the two like such separate things that it was one or the other before?
Yeah. Like when I trick, I have like no patience and, like I want to just do the most crazy thing I could possibly do. Like right away, no warm up, like just go in real quick. But, like, just like with school, it's like a process and you have to warm up a little bit to like instead of like throwing yourself in there. So I think just that kind of process of taking the time and putting in the work, it'll pay off.
That's cool, man. So how much longer are you down here for? Do you have a timetable, or is it kind of
so I have another year at community college, and I want to transfer to. I'm hoping I'm on like a set to go to USC.
Nice.
But it's really hard to get into, and I'm really trying to push for it. So
that's awesome.
I really want to go to school out here.
That's cool, man. Well, at least you have like a plan now, and you kind of like you said, you did it on your own terms. You took some time away, so you really knew you wanted to do this instead of just forcing yourself.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of kids go through that where especially in my area, like Silicon Valley, like if you don't have your own business by 20, you're kind of seen as a failure.
Yeah.
And so like kids are getting pushed into school, and it's tough because they don't really know what they want. And, they're kind of maybe going for their parents, or they're just going to be there and, no real direction.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like wasting, a couple of years. So I thought, kind of figure out what I want, figure out just like what makes me happy. Totally. And then I'll go back in and then, really take it serious.
I think it's a really cool approach, man. Like it's probably not going to be supported by all the parents that are out there, but like from someone that actually went to college. So for those of you who don't know, I went to 4-year university, Santa Barbara.
Oh, Santa Barbara.
Yeah, which was a crazy party school. But what I learned though is that like, man, college isn't for everybody. Like it is for some people. Honestly, I wish I kind of did what you did, which was maybe go a little later, because I entered college at 17 and I was a totally different person with what I thought and believed in and stuff then. I probably could have got more out of the experience being a little bit older and like really appreciating it. So.
Yeah, no, I lived in, right after college, I lived in Australia for a year.
Yes.
And, like shout out to the Australia community. They like really took me in with open arms and stuff. And it really made me like fall in love with training and tricking and like progressing and like trying new things, and it was like a really good community, and it was like exactly what I needed
to
like really figure out what I wanted.
Yeah, at that point in your life, it was the right place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. We all kind of have those little moments in our life that really help set up our path, man. Now, I know you recently just got back from New York.
Yep. Shout out Trick Strong.
Shout out to Trick Strong. And how was that event? We don't have to delve fully into like KOTF yet, but like how was New York and how was the gathering?
New York was crazy. We tried to do something different this time around. So instead of making a long video, we wanted to do it where instead of filming the challenges that you completed, you'd post them to your story. So like people could kind of follow along as it's going instead of kind of recapping it a couple months later. So it was kind of like to keep people involved and like
it's more live.
It's live, so you can see who's winning as it's going along.
Okay, dope.
And that was like it was a pretty good. It worked out pretty good, and I think doing both would be good. Having like a full recap video with like a longer like listing out all the challenges and with the story, so people could kind of see both sides.
Hell yeah. So before we delve into like King of the Floor and everything you've been doing with the community and stuff, how long have you been training and like doing martial arts before tricking? Like when did you?
I started martial arts at 4.
Yes.
So like a lot of people, my parents threw me in. It was self-defense and weapon work and stuff. And there was actually this guy named Julio Castro, who I'm sure a lot of OG knows.
Yeah.
But he was he originally was training with Loopkicks, like when Lou was around, and so way back, when it was starting, and he was doing B twists, D legs, and stuff. And when I saw it, I was like, oh man, that's exactly what I want.
And you saw this at the karate school?
Saw it at the karate school,
okay.
And so he would come in, and he was training in NASCA. He was he got on Team Straight Up and stuff. So
nice.
I was like, he was my idol for like a while. And Kim Do came and taught at our karate school, taught me how to he called it the rainbow kick, which is the OG running D leg.
The OG one, yeah.
And ever since then it was just like it snapped. And then I was like, oh, I gotta do backflips all day at school. I gotta go home and do flips into the grass and stuff. And
how old do you think you were when you started flipping?
I could D leg probably at like 8 or 9.
Okay.
And that was just my move. And I love to D-leg.
And was it like, was it a part of a class or were you just training on your own? Like, how did you start getting better?
It was kind of just like, anyone that's like kind of grew up with like traditional martial arts, you do your martial arts, and after you can kind of mess around with stuff. So it would just be like training hard. And then at the end you can kind of play around and, add a little something here, make something a little difficult here.
Okay.
And it was fun. But like tricking or like martial arts wasn't my main focus, like because I loved baseball, I loved soccer, and so I was actually way better at baseball than like any other sport. Like that was my move. Like that was that was my passion. And and I hurt my shoulder, and when I went up to like the bigger leagues, it was tough for me to throw.
Okay.
And so like. And then I was like, maybe not baseball. So then I played football like my freshman year in high school. Not playing tackle at all.
Okay.
And, I was like 4'11" my freshman year. So like people were picking on me and stuff. And like, oh, you're so small. Like one of my first days, they didn't have pads big enough for me. So they had to like get some extra small ones from some Pee Wee football team.
That's crazy,
and
man.
So like that was my training. And then after I kind of didn't like that. And I went back into like competing hard in like NASCA and stuff. And like, competing in that.
Yeah.
So, like,
and did you were you sponsored on a team when you competed, or did you go independent?
Yeah, so I was eventually I got into Team AK, and that was like one of my goals, like ever since. Like I was obsessed with like Micah and Ross and Cole. Like those were my idols growing up. Totally. So like watching those videos, it was like, damn, like those guys are so good. And like seeing them in person was like, like you meet like an idol and you're like, oh they're actually like they exist. And like that was like a whole thing. But like
that's crazy. It's crazy because like your idols are like the guys that were the kids when I was older. So like it's so funny to see the generation.
Well, I think I'm older than Ross and Cole. Well,
I think
I'm older than Ross. Maybe not Cole, but it doesn't even matter. Like
they were
competing. So good, and like that was who I wanted to hang out with. That's who I wanted to train like.
And so who was on AK when you were on the team?
So me. And Jordan and Kubo, who's also like, I love Jordan and Kubo. Like he's so creative in everything he does.
Yeah.
Who else? Dante Rodriguez. Okay. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I do remember him.
He was Who else was me and Jordan definitely got on the team at like the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were buddies, and we'd always train together.
And you guys were tricking at a high level.
Feeding off each other. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
super cool.
Yeah, it was so cool.
That's awesome, man. So you kind of have just basically been in martial arts and tricking your whole life.
It's been my life for forever.
Movement journey.
Well, because I started going to Loopkicks camp in 2008.
How old are you then?
So I was 12.
And that was your first gathering?
12 was my first gathering.
And 08 was one of the wildest ones.
Wildest ones, like
ever.
You know, because I was also obsessed with Anis, and he was just tricking was Anis. You know, forms with Micah and stuff, but. Yeah, all I wanted was to be Anis.
Yeah,
and like just seeing him trick like the big power moves and just how floaty he was, like that's all I wanted was the biggest move.
Yeah,
jump
man.
The highest.
For kids that are like the new gen that weren't really in the Anis era, it like he was a dominant figure in our sport, man. There's very few people where almost everyone looks up to them. Now you have like, you know, you could say the Shoseis and the Mikes and stuff, but like Anis for a long time was the
created
dude.
the foundation for what everyone's kind of going off of.
He was that dude that was like super clean, you know, doing the power and stuff too. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's cool that
he respected the martial arts too, which was cool.
Yeah, he really did. And I think that's cool though, is that like I don't know if a lot of kids would know of your like prevalent martial arts background. Yeah. Which is, you know, highly influential upon like why you can actually execute kicks and stuff in your combos.
No, I grew up kicking.
Exactly.
That was it.
There's no way around it, kids. You want to get good kicking? Train kicks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of touched on it, man, and it's something I always want to ask you about. And you literally like gave it away right away, which is like I've always wondered how your style or if your favorite move was a double leg, because for all time I think myself and a lot of the community associates you with doing gigantic full double legs, and you'll kind of pull up some of these like D-leg variations here, like just run through a couple of them as we watch them. And so you kind of touched on it, right? So the first time you were exposed to a double leg was Kimdo
came to karate school. Taught us the rainbow kick, and it was like something that I like, you know, when you do moves and it just like picks up really fast.
Yes.
And it just clicks.
Clicked
and you're
in your
like,
body.
Just clicked. And I understood it. And that was my move.
Did you run and like learn it over a pad, or did you do it the
old
school
pad,
way?
You stack the pads up, you go on your back. I still teach it the same way he did.
Roll on your back?
You roll on your back. And then he also, we would go on our backs and we would do like the ab workout where you like bring your, and so like, just, I don't know.
Yeah, you just work on keeping everything tight. And
tight, pointing your toes and stuff. And
so was that one of the first moves you've ever learned, was D-leg?
I learned butterfly kick first, and then I could 540.
Okay.
And then that was kind of boring, and I was like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
D-leg came in.
No way. And so that's why it's been such a big part of your style over the years.
And this is also my move, the double full D-leg.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's wild. So when you're doing these D-legs, man, I mean, I got to ask you, since that's a move that you're most known for, what's the secret for people out there? If you can give them a little tip or something.
I think just with any like full variations, you really got to put a lot of momentum into the cartwheel. And I feel like people just look at the trick after, but you have to look at the trick before, because if you have no momentum and you're trying to jump really high, then you can't. So you have to really like think of the cartwheel as a setup, just like any other setup. And you know, you got to jump straight up and then chest to your knees. And I think Kyle Cordova, shout out to Kyle Cordova, who respects the D-legs.
He's got a super big D-leg too.
Yeah. And so you just gotta take it slow, enjoy the ride. Don't try and rush it.
How do you keep your legs and everything tight? Are you squeezing through your ankles, through your legs, through your butt? Like,
I think right away you put your legs together.
Okay.
Yeah, don't think flip then D-leg.
Okay.
D-leg. Just think D-leg,
the whole
and
time.
then it'll carry you over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard it here, dog.
Can't give away all the secrets.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna say, I guarantee that's the Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
That's like probably just the surface.
Just fall a bunch of times till you figure it out.
Hell yes, man. That's awesome, man. And so like over the years, you've like contributed a lot of things to tricking, and you know, before we get into like what you've done, as far as like in the community as a structural thing, one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was Cheat 12 Swing Through Dub.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like one of the things that you chased for a long time? Was that one of the things you're most proud of?
Yeah, I think that and the cart mega. Yeah, this was actually a real crazy day because the spring floor right here was not built before I started sessioning.
No way.
So I put that all together. Yeah, it was wild. That was actually the first time I'd ever even swung to the dub, because I'd only just been doing corks.
Yes.
And like just timers, and this was literally one shot.
No way.
To the dub, yeah. And
Who's
I haven't
filming?
done. My friend Andy, shout out, died trying. Yeah, this floor wasn't even built like because we like to put it away when it's like raining, so
Yes.
like the wood doesn't rot and like break. So this was all like scattered.
No
Like, so
way.
the mat was in there's a shed. All the wood pieces were like put up.
Yes.
So I literally put the floor together. And there was so many dead spots. I definitely did not put it together right. And I
But you
must have
nailed
hit
it.
something because I felt like I was flying on this.
You
But
took
yeah,
off.
this was like a very good connection between like martial arts and
Yes.
like
You got a high level kick and a
Flipping.
high level flip twist move all in the same combo.
who's gonna do it next?
Right?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's not a common one. Not
It's the only
common.
one.
Not common at
It's
all.
a crazy dub.
It is, man. It's a unique one. And it's like a really great segue because for those of you that aren't aware with where that is the backyard of a house that several people live in who everyone will recognize from the community. So at what point did you were you officially a part of Loopkicks at a certain point before you went on?
And I think like it's weird because like if you're just training in the gym, you're
Kind
part
of it.
You're loop kicks, and so
Yeah.
like that was for a while, and then it was kind of like there's a little drama here and there, and it was kind of like we're gonna go do our own thing. Barry Hustle Team was just we're just gonna trick and kind of make a name for ourselves. Yeah, I grew up in loop kicks training,
Okay.
and then we were like, we're gonna start clothing. We're gonna start producing SoundCloud mixtapes for people to train to.
Totally.
We're gonna do this event. And just make cool clothing too. So
And that's where that basically gets us to Bay Area Hustle Team, or known as BAHT in the community.
Yep.
And so when did that form? When was it formed? And who
So
was
that
a
was
part of the founding?
So Nelson Zuniga, shout out Nelson. He
Yeah.
was the one that kind of came up with the name. You know, Bay Area. We're all in the Bay Area. Hustle Team. We all like to hustle.
Of course.
And it just it started just. We'd have our little secret sessions, just not tell anyone about it, make a little video.
Yes.
And then it really people started to know what BAHT was once I started like making clothing for it.
Yeah.
And then once I started making clothing for it, then that's when we did King of the Floor. And it was just I like to think of it as like an umbrella, like BAHT is just the top, and we kind of have all these things like promoting BAHT.
Yeah,
So
100%. And so what year did BAHT officially form? And is it just you and Nelson that are the owners and founders right now?
it was, originally it was me, Nelson, Mike McGuire, Kang Vu,
Okay.
Alex Hunter, Brian Huang. Who else? I'm going to get in trouble for
I know, right?
And Harold.
Okay. You're like, I missed one, and they're going to call me out so hard. Exactly.
No, but it was just, we were just having fun,
Cool.
and it was just we wanted to do our own thing.
Do you remember when that was? What year that was?
Oh, yeah,
It's a couple of years ago, right? Like,
Probably 2015.
yeah, that sounds about
2015.
right. Yeah.
Or 2014, right around there.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, cool. And so you started with the clothing line, selling stuff to trickers and stuff like that. But for everyone out there,
Michelle Vacular, shut up, Michelle.
He's
I
like-
missed it. She's the graphic designer, so all the graphic design you guys see, that's mainly from her. I just kind of shout out stupid ideas, and she's like, "Oh, okay," and then
Perfect.
pieces it together.
yeah, don't forget your graphic designer, dog. Yeah.
Yeah, she's important.
Yeah. So real quick, man, for those of that may not be aware or like as familiar with Bay Area Hustle Team, like what's like the motto, or like what makes it different than everything else or these other tricking groups, and why did you break away from Loopkicks? To like you kind of did it on purpose to live a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
And like portray what you guys wanted to. So
Yeah, not going too much into like the drama. I don't want to start anything, but it was
Yeah, of
kind of
course.
just like I had an idea that what I thought would be cool, and it was like because I've been a part of the tricking community for so long, and I've seen so many different attempts on trying to make it mainstream and stuff like like Trickstar with you, and
Yeah,
that was one of the biggest things that we saw in tricking, and then like with Red Bull and stuff. But we kind of wanted to take a different approach because like everyone's tried to connect to the mass with battles.
Yes.
And it's tough because my dad always says it, like whenever he watches me, trick and stuff, he's like, well, how many spins did you do? Like he has no idea what I'm doing. So with King of the Floor, it was kind of like, how do we make this impressive yet the mass can understand what we're doing? So we try to
Totally.
kind of connect it with like a jackass level, and that's like shout out King of the Road. Like when we all saw that, we were like,
yes.
this is exactly what tricking needs, and it was like so effortless when we were watching it because we were like, oh, how do we make this into like tricking challenges and stuff? And so we had this whiteboard in the kitchen, and it was just like, oh yeah, this is probably the when we made this, it was like, all right, this is why we're doing like this trailer.
This is the first trailer.
This is literally the first kind of trailer of anything that we started. And, you know, after we made this trailer, it was like, all right,
you
know,
we're
like
committed to this now.
Where I'm committed to this. And, you know,
and so explain the format for how it works for someone that's never been to like, so for those that are out there, King of the Floor is put on by Keenan and them, but it's not necessarily their gathering. You guys actually go to pre-existing tricking gatherings and you run King of the Floor event competition. So what's the format? And
so no, the first year we started at Loopkicks, and, you know, being involved with Loopkicks, it was kind of like it was like in that wave of kind of gatherings, you know, somehow gatherings kind of go down, and then it's like the wave of things. And
depends on who your guests are and who's here.
And so we were like, there's not that many activities. We might as well just try it and like see what happens. And so pretty much we put together a booklet, as you saw right at the end, and it was the first year we went a little crazy. We probably put in like 300 challenges, and the challenges involve really difficult tricking challenges. So like prerequisites, so like double cork, gainer switch, double cork, double cork, and then we have a section of kicks. So just weird kicks, like weird things that aren't very typical. And we add them in there. We have trampoline tricks. We'll do like location challenges. We'll do team challenges, and we'll also do like the legendary challenges. So we try and bring back the culture of, you know, there's not a lot of young trickers understand like how crazy some of these trickers were like when it first started. So like we try and like incorporate some challenges that are iconic in like the history of tricking. We kind of try and bring that back to like reenact it. So we always keep that like culture involved. And then we set them up. We let them go out for 2 days. I'm pretty good at judging like the mood of how people are doing, because it's like it's tough, and it's like it's endurance. And so typically we'll do about 2 days.
And are people split up on teams?
So the first year we had 5 teams. So it's one team captain who's in charge of filming and then making sure the book doesn't get lost. And then 5 teams of 5, and you go out, you film. Whoever has the most amount of points by the end of it wins, and the individual who has the most amount of points wins MVP.
And so each challenge is assigned a trick point value.
Point value, yeah. So it's either, I think we have 20 points as the lowest, all the way up to 150.
Okay. And so it's based on difficulty or how crazy it is.
Difficulty. And you know, like I pride myself on like doing the, like, if I put a challenges, like I want to attempt it to like make sure like you can do it. So I'm like itching to like have someone else do it so I can
so you can try and be a part of it.
So I think a secret that we're probably going to do is we're going to have like Barry Hustle Team versus the world.
Oh.
You guys are going to come and try to beat us.
That'd be cool. So has there been a challenge so far that no one's been able to complete? Are there ever some on the booklet that no one gets to?
It's funny. What's the one challenge? So shout out to DNAP.
Oh, okay. Daniel.
There's he did this challenge at it's called the Burrito-Zilla, and you're supposed to eat this, like, I'm going to mess it up, but it's like, it's probably like 5-pound burrito.
Multi-pound burrito,
It's huge, and you're supposed to eat it in one sitting. You're not allowed to leave. And so he did it years before and did it.
Legit,
and but he didn't tell anyone, so he didn't win anything. So we just put in the book, like, if you can go and if you can get the Burrito-Zilla, it's like worth the most amount of points.
No way.
And no one has been able to do it ever since. And it's been like
where is this place at? Where's it at?
It's in San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, Burrito-Zilla.
No way.
And it's huge. And there's also another one, like, shout out Gary Ip. Like, one of the challenges would have him solving a Rubik's Cube because he's a math teacher now. We always put in Psycho Mike. Shout out to OG Psycho Mike. If you can just get a picture with him.
No way.
And we're just hoping one day he's just going to show up and
just someone get a shot with him.
Someone's going to get a shot with him.
No way.
Yeah, I'd have to go back through. There's a couple that people.
And how do you guys come up with these challenges? And is it collectively?
You know, like what I said before, like we have a whiteboard. And when I used to live in San Jose, we just have a whiteboard. And it was like, well, you know, you're just talking shit with people, and this would be funny. Write this. This would be cool. And you talk shit and put it up like that. And then after, like, originally when we put it up, it was like, well, we're not gonna erase it. So I was like, I made the whole book, and like, all right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And you know, it was great. I loved it. It worked out way better than I thought it would, and it got a lot of good positive response because it's just something different, and we're just trying to do something, a different approach, and like
it's cool, man, and it's also something where like it's something that I've thought about as someone that runs Jam and is going to have gatherings on my own. It's like sometimes you go to these gatherings, and if you have battles, like depending on who you invite, you kind of know who's going to win. Like if you invite Shosi to a battle in 2019, most likely he's going to win the battle. And
it's going to scare people to try and go up and go against
so
him.
This is like an equalizer because...
I like to think of it as the true tricking champion. Like, if you can really commit yourself to 2 days, commit to the tricking challenges, which are not easy. Yeah. And kind of, triggers are crazy. Like there's a little something wrong with all of us because we wouldn't be like putting our bodies
doing
on the
this
line.
For free.
Oh, yeah. And it's great. And, allowing people just to go out, have fun with your friends, have some competition, but not really. And you can really see who's like a really good overall tricker. And that's like, I think that's one of the best judgments of, who's the best.
Yeah. And it's cool because you do find, like I've seen some of them where obviously like you've had some of the guys that win the overall thing are some very high level trickers.
Yeah,
but
Slava,
it's cool. Yeah.
Kojo.
Yeah. Vivian, right? Or no? Did Vivian ever do one?
Bitch, Vivian. Yeah. He's never won. He's done
never
every
won.
single one.
I was going to
say. Has not won.
I've always seen him
and
like
he's gotten
in the mix.
So close. And even this last time around in New York, he didn't win.
Oh, that's awesome. But it's cool though because you get to see like two sides of these guys. Because sometimes in these samplers, you only get to see the side of them which is tricking, and you only see them landing everything. So
the highlights.
Through the course of this, you get to see like the humanized side of them too, which is not just the tricks, but also like not everyone's going to do all the crazy challenges. You kind of get to see what each guy's personality is really like.
Yeah. And I love a good fall. Like I think that's even more impressive than landing it sometimes. Like if someone really goes for it and like no fucks.
yeah.
I'm just going to go.
Yeah. And then they're trying to do something nuts.
You just slam and it's, I respect it.
It's a part of the journey for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we've all gone through those slams and it's like, I respect the effort that you're putting in right now.
Yeah, that's funny, man. So how many have you guys done officially now? You started with Loopkicks. I know you guys have done ATG, right?
Yeah, so I think we've done 4 now.
Okay.
Like 4 big ones, yeah. And then we started doing like we did the tester of having a bounty day. Okay. So we put out so everyone in the world can do it just for that one individual day.
Yeah, and that's something I want to talk to you about next, which is like the bounty things that you're doing. And so these are challenges that you're doing on Instagram, and you're throwing them up. And what is it? Is it a race to who can do it first or the best?
It's a race. So we post one every hour, and then it's whoever can do all 12 that day.
Oh, wow. So they have to complete all 12.
Whoever completes it first.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's tough because all the time zones.
Yeah.
The egg one.
I was going to say.
This is a classic.
Yeah, what's this one?
This is do a beat twist with eggs between your armpits.
Without crushing them?
Yeah. First tee.
That's pretty awesome,
we had some
man.
funny videos of people doing that.
And how are the responses like? Are you seeing mostly just U.S. people competing?
No, everywhere.
Okay.
The guy from Australia, Dougie.
Shout out Dougie Chalmers,
Dougie won the bounty day.
No way.
And they started way later, which was funny.
Yeah, because
their time zone was really bad.
Okay, so
we had someone get all the way to the 11th challenge and hurt himself. We had someone get to the 11th but couldn't do it, and so Dougie really came back from
swooped on everyone.
Swooped in. Yeah, so it was cool.
No way, that's cool, man. And then you just give out a cash prize to whoever
wins.
Cash
prize and clothing.
That's awesome, man. It's cool. It's a cool way that you guys are like stimulating the community and having like a interaction with them on like a live basis. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else planned in the near future, like for King of the Floor gathering? Or is there anything else on the lineup for 2019? Or
we did New York. We're gonna do Australia again this year.
Oh, okay. And then when's that? Do you know?
January.
Ah, okay.
January.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then we're gonna hopefully next year we're gonna do one more bounty day this year, but next year we're gonna hopefully do it every month. Okay. So it's one every month.
That's super cool.
And I also want to put up like cash prizes for individual tricks. So like, you could do like cheat 12 swing dub. We put up like $100 for it, whoever lands it. But you can change it around. Just do some crazy stuff with that.
That's cool, man.
Kind of give some motivation for people to land some stuff.
Okay. And have you had like a favorite King of the Floor event so far out of all of them? Or has there been one that you think has been the most successful or anything? Or have they all been like different?
I think King of the Floor number 2 was the best produced. We had
Where's that one? ATG or
King of the Floor 2 is at Loopkicks.
The second year.
The second year.
Okay, cool.
And we had Isaiah Flores. Shout out to Isaiah, who's been a part of the community for starter of Loopkicks, creator of Loopkicks.
Exactly.
But he's a magician with the camera, so just having his insight and kind of having him walk around and film and stuff was it helped out a bunch for that. So I think that was the best produced. I think ATG was the craziest.
Okay.
And I think the most fun.
And so,
because Australians are crazy.
Yes, that's what I've heard, dog. Yeah. So once you guys do the competition and you have someone filming it and stuff like that, how long does it take for you guys to put a video out? And do you collect the footage from everyone collectively?
Yeah. So that was tough. In Australia, that was the tough one because we had a really quick turnaround. We try to put out like a promo literally like 2 days after, but we have to go through and judge everything.
Yeah.
So we have to collect all the footage of 5 teams and then kind of go through, label everything, and then judge to see who won the best, most.
And make sure they did the things.
And then make sure that they did it complete, like legit. And then we make we add them up and then we make the decision. The ATG, the movie, was about 4 months turnaround. That was just me going in every day trying to do that. But like usually it takes a while because it's like everyone has a different camera typically. It's all different footage. Sound's always off.
Totally.
Someone kind of shaky and you know.
You
gotta go through it.
Pick through it all and find the stuff. That's wild, man. Okay.
So it takes a while, but it's
worth it. I can only imagine. And who were the winners? You kind of mentioned them before, right?
Yeah, so the first year was Slava. He won the MVP.
Okay.
Team Loopstash was the team that year.
Okay.
Kojo won it the second year on Team Garrison.
All right.
ATG was Ahmed.
Okay.
Team Queens. Shout out Team Queens. And Malik won in New York. And shout out Malik. He went in. He's the man.
Dude, that's awesome. That's cool though, man. Because like we said, you've the guys that have won the competition are some of the high level guys in our community battling. So it's cool to see them like involved in these things. Mm-hmm. It's really, really cool to see.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's like a refreshing little side thing.
Yeah, and it just mixes it up and gives like a different tip. So if someone out there for just so the community that listens to this is knowing, like, do you guys select the events you're going to go to, or can people contact you and try to have you run something?
Yeah, people contact us. They reach out to us, and we use our social media platform to kind of promote their gathering.
Okay.
We'll make these challenges. Well, so like the whole reason was like when you're trying to entertain guests, it's hard to entertain everyone.
Yes.
So this was kind of the idea of you don't have to entertain them. They will go out and try and do all these challenges. So you don't have to worry about, making them going places and stuff. And
they see the city while they're doing the challenges.
Yeah, they see the city, but they're doing challenges. They go to the beach, but they're doing beach challenges and stuff. Okay. So it's kind of like, you just let them go have fun.
That's cool, man. Okay, awesome. So the next one we can look out for is ATG next year. Mm-hmm. Okay, dope, man. That's super cool. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, like besides King of the Floor, Connor, launch up Pebble really quick. Mm-hmm. So now, with King of the Floor, it's something where the emphasis is really on like you helping other trickers come to the forefront and stuff like that. But the first time that we met in person, was it when I flew you down here?
Yeah, you flew me out for Jam Winter Gathering.
Pulled that one up, yeah.
I think against Jacob Pinto.
I think the
my first battle ever.
Was that? That's what I was going to ask you about.
There's a whole story behind that too.
That's what I wanted to ask you about, bro.
It was my first time going to Sharky's winter camp.
Okay.
That's like when I first got to meet Micah, and Andrew Franklin was there.
Yes. Shout out to Sensei Sharky over in Illinois.
Sensei Sharky.
So okay.
But yeah, this was. I remember because Andrew Franklin someone was supposed to battle Pinto and they couldn't.
Yes.
And then Andrew Franklin was like, "Oh, you should battle Pinto." So I was like, "I'll battle Pinto." And then I was super nervous. But I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I think you guys asked for me to put together a promo. I had no promo. I know nothing. So shout out Tony Fay. He made me a little promo at the Chicago, and I went in on that.
No way.
Double back. And you don't
be throwing those off it anymore, dog.
Hell no. Going into that, this whole battle I blacked out. This was probably like the most tired I've ever been my whole life.
Dude, this battle, you guys didn't stop. It was just because Jacob tried to bait you into a round off battle at one point, and it was just a round off. Yeah,
round off. I think I ate it at one, and I think he stepped in a little, so it threw me off. But Yeah, no, I remember beforehand, Sammy V, I've always looked up to Sammy V too. He was talking to Pinto and he was like, yeah, who's this Keenan kid? Like, he can't do anything. And, I was listening on the side, so because I don't think he knew who I was. So I was like,
so you heard that.
I'm going to try a little, I'm going to go in a little.
I'm going to gas it a little bit.
Yeah, but, this is my first individual battle.
Of all time.
Jam. Yeah.
Wow, bro. So
and I was nervous.
We put you on the map, dog. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think Jordan Akubo was the first gathering. He got flown out to, too. I flew him out and battled in this one.
That was the next
2014.
That was the next one.
Wow,
that's
dude,
you flew out me and Kang.
You're super young in this one, bro. How old are you there? Oh. That's wild.
And having Anise, Jeremy, Kyle McLean, Danny Graham look at me.
And Steve Tirada.
Yeah, and Steve Tirada. Yeah, my biggest idols too at the time. We were like, oh god.
And you're just a young kid in your first battle of all time.
I hope I don't mess this up.
And not only that, all of Loopkicks came down. So
everyone was there. And there's a bunch of people there too.
There was a whole Bay Area section on the floor.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man.
Man, so your first battle.
But that's when I knew, something clicked. Dude. And it was like, I can hang.
Yeah.
Kind of hang.
That's
and
super cool.
Yeah, no, shout out to Jacob Pinto. Like, we've always kind of had this, back and forth, and we've just always motivated, pushed each other. Yeah, he's pushed me a bunch just by watching him trick.
Dude, I had no idea that was your first battle. That's an awesome story, dude. Yeah. That's crazy, man. And so after that, you kind of became thrown into a bunch of different ones. I flew you down to 2014 gathering. You did the 2-on-2s with Kang to represent Loopkicks, and
then I for the Red Bull gathering, I didn't get flown out to that Red Bull gathering. I was kind of salty about not getting flown out to that gathering, so I flew myself out, and then they had prelims. I was salty, so I went in first 10 seconds. I got picked first and stuff, and then I went against Ingun, and then beat Ingun the first round and stuff.
Yes.
So something switched,
Totally. And so for someone that runs an event that is not anti-battling, but a substitute for it, do you still enjoy battling yourself? Is it something that I like
the adrenaline it gives, because there's no other feeling in a battle, because you get this kind of secret strength or that superpower, when you're just okay, I'm gonna do it. So I miss that. I think I don't know. I think just moving on, trying to make tricking bigger. I think it needs just more than just battles.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I'm focusing on.
It's cool, man. I think that we need.
But I won't turn down a battle.
Okay. I was gonna ask you if you're still in the mix. Yeah.
I'll still throw down.
Oh, okay, cool. Good to know, guys. Good to know. Maybe having some events in the near future. That's why I may have asked that publicly, so it's on record.
I'll throw it down.
That's awesome, man. So how often are you training these days with school and stuff like that?
I've been dealing with an injury. I tore my meniscus last year. I ended up getting stem cells in it.
I was going to ask you about that. And you also got them somewhere else too, right?
I got them in Utah.
Yeah, and where did you do them though? It wasn't just your knee. You treated your hip also?
No, I meniscus and then my shoulder.
It was your. That's it, because I had shoulder surgery.
Yeah, dislocated all the time, so my shoulder slips out.
Yes.
So my shoulder's been really good.
Can you pull that up, Connor? The stem cells. So how for those kids that are out there, honestly, you're one of 3 people I know that have ever done it. How successful was the stem cell procedure?
Yeah, being honest, it was good at first. It was good for the first year. I walked out of surgery, so I didn't need to limp out at all.
Okay.
My back was the one that hurt the most because they take bone marrow out of your back, so you see that patch. So that's they take bone marrow out and then they synthesize it.
Yeah.
And they stick it into that place, and the goal is that it'll regrow itself.
Yes.
So the first year was really good. I felt no pain, and then it was actually at ATG. I was doing some tricks, and it kind of slid out and did the same funky, weird stuff.
Okay.
And so it's been up and down. It's been up and down, and past 2 months have been kind of bad. So I've been about a month now where it's been no pain.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of getting back into it and stuff. So I'm trying to just think about what's next. I'm just going to strengthen the hell out of it and see what happens. But it was definitely good for the first year. The people I've talked to who have stem cells, they say it wears off and you need more.
Do you have to go back in, or are you going to wait and just rehab?
I'm going to wait and see what happens.
Okay.
I'll wait and see what happens.
That's crazy, man. Well, I'm sure one thing that doesn't help with your knee is putting out videos like Pebble where you're tricking on hard floor.
This was before.
This was before the stem cells?
This was before stem cells.
Okay, so then at least you beat your body before then.
Yeah.
But you know what? Before Pebble, the one that I really wanted to talk to you about, and is pull up the one where it's the dub. There should be like a dub one.
Oh, where I'm just grinding on dub.
Yeah.
This was after stem cells.
Yes, and that's what I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, this was a weird day. I was kind of not having a great day. And I was like, I'm landing dub
and
today.
For those that are just listening to our audio broadcast right now, go ahead and go over to the YouTube and watch it later, or check out his Instagram. What we're watching here is a clip of Keenan trying to go for double full swing through double cork, which is known as dub, and he's trying to do it with shoes on outside in a very uneven.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do dub
surface. Yeah, it's in the dirt. It's not the best. You're in full clothes.
And you know what also sucks is that I landed it, but my phone died.
No way.
Before. So I had
to redo it.
So I had to redo it. And that really...
And that's why you got pumped and threw your shirt off when you landed it again.
Because I landed it and didn't get it on film. And I had probably the worst fall after that. I was like, I'm landing this.
That's wild, man. And so, like, the reason why I wanted to show this is because, one, like, it's really cool that you put yourself there up on blast so the kids can see the process. But, like, what's going through your head, like, during times like this for kids that are out there, they may hit, like, plateaus in their training or hit moments like this that are tough.
Yeah. I mean, you can even just tell in this video, like, there's times where I'm just not exactly right there. Yes. I'm not close at all. And, little closer, and then it kind of just works itself out. Bam. So, like... don't get frustrated. You learn each time you fall. You learn. Make little tiny adjustments. Okay. And it'll click.
It's just part of it.
Yeah. It's just part of life.
And how often do you get to train these days with your post-injury and like with school being involved? Is it as much as you want to, or? I try
and do at least like 2 times a week.
Okay. Okay.
Heyday, probably I was going like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Just training. So I'm getting back into it. School, I'm really just trying to, make sure I'm staying focused on that, and I get in tricking. I'm tricking, so like I'm very narrow. I want to be the best. It has to be that.
Totally. Okay.
So like, I've been kind of here and there, but I'm excited to get back.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back into just doing some weird stuff.
And so like, I got to ask you because it's not a common thing. You trick to the right.
Yeah.
Are you left-handed or are you right-handed?
No. So I started, I kick way better going to my left. So I trick going to my right.
Yeah, you trick going to your right. You're one of the few besides Jacob Pinto, Alexander Anderson.
And Rudy Raynon.
And Rudy Raynon.
Yeah. So I think we all have that same problem where in martial arts, we grew up kind of kicking that way, but twisting some guy taught me how to B-twist this way, so it kind of screwed up my twisting.
So you B-twist on the right side, but you kick better on the left side.
But I kick better that way. So when I was like first starting to trick, I was touchdown rise. So all I wanted was touchdown rise. So I had to make the decision of either learning how to kick on my bad side or learn how to twist on my bad side. And I was like, I might as well just learn how to kick on my bad side. So it was kind of just relearning all kicks.
No shit.
Going on my bad side.
So, yeah, you had to relearn everything. Sheet 9, tornado, 540, jackknife.
Everything.
Can you still throw your kicks on your other side?
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah. So I can, that's why whenever I post jackknifes, it's always that way.
I was going to ask you, your jackknife is right around left hook.
Ice. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
always.
I love that one. And I can't do it the other way.
You can't do it the other way.
I can't do jackknife the other way. Well, I can, but it's not good.
That's
you
crazy.
You don't want to see that at all.
And so did you ever try to twist the other way? Like just out of...
So I could do like... Keeping with the 540, I could do like cartful hyper with big 540 kick. I could do touchdown rice and cork. My cork is kind of better on the other side, but I don't get that same.
Wow.
I swing way better because I played soccer.
Okay.
So I was super into soccer. So I'm dominant right side kicking.
No way.
And I would always find myself kicking on my left side for some reason. And my coaches would always get mad because I was always pull back left side and kick.
That's crazy though that you basically had to make the decision to
learn
it was either
one side, learn how to twist or learn how to kick. And I was like, I might as well learn how to kick.
That's pretty wild, and that you stuck with it and were able to get through.
It was frustrating, dude. It took me a while. I was
gonna say, if you already know how to do something and you're relearning it must be frustrating.
Yeah, so it took me a while.
That's crazy, dog. I always wanted to ask that because, like we said, in this community there's a handful of guys that
especially Rudy Raynon still. He'd be doing the cheat 7 hook to back to illusion the other way.
Yeah, man, it's very few and far in between, but it's cool to know that you can do both sides and stuff. I've always wanted to ask that. Hell yeah, dog.
I think it's good because you get like more air awareness, I guess, because you feel like you're writing with your left hand when you trick going that way. Like you can do it, but it's off.
Yeah, and you also get a full understanding of the trick. Like we like to say, like guys, the reason why guys like Dan Perez are so like cerebral about tricking is like he learned everything on both sides, so he has a pretty good grasp of the move to break it down and do it on both sides.
Yeah, no.
So
especially I think it's good to just be well-rounded, just being able to do both, I guess.
100%, man. So one of the last things I got to talk to you about as far as your training is like we may not see as many banging clips of you out here grinding it out and always hitting the cheat 12 dubs, but one thing that are my favorite and I feature on the Jam Breakdown all the time, man, is you and your mom.
My mom.
Yeah, dog. Pull up
Shout
mama.
My mom and Carr.
Yeah, pull up mama Carr, dog. So
yeah, she started martial arts. She threw me into martial arts, and she started right after.
Yep.
So me and her have been doing martial arts since I was 4. She's technically a higher black belt than I am.
Okay.
So she's a sensei. But yeah, no, she's been a part of kind of like my martial arts career since the beginning. She used to do point sparring in NASCA, so she used to just axe kick people right in the head.
Way.
That was her move.
Yo, people don't know what it's like to have a martial arts mom, man. Yo, my mom was a martial arts mom. It's scary, dog.
Kick your ass.
They don't play, dog.
They don't play.
They don't play, dog.
They might seem nice, but they got something, a little pressure point behind the ear, and you're like,
they don't play, man. Yeah, so
this
really quick.
We literally tried this again last week, and
is this the only one that you guys have bailed on really hard?
No.
Okay. No. Yo, because this is hard.
This one was bad, but the one that we literally just did was probably the worst.
Oh, which is that
posted
one
on my
online?
story.
Oh yeah, okay. I was gonna say I haven't found that one online.
She got wrecked. That was bad. Yeah. This is funny, but I mean, it was kind of like it started with me and her just doing tornado kick and
just doing sync stuff and then integrating.
And, she loves it. She makes her happy.
Totally.
It's just fun. You have that connection with your mom and
hell yeah. And what's the account that you guys actually created? An account?
It's just Mum and Son Flips.
Mum and Son Flips. Hell yes.
She's Australian.
Okay.
She's born and raised in Australia, so call her Mum.
That's awesome, dude.
So this is what we turned to after eating.
After you failed. Well, what happened on the fail?
Well, we tried the cartwheel and the dealing thing
and it was worse than that one?
Yeah, not good. Not pretty.
Dude, that's a hard move to do. The timing, the window of it is very limited,
it sounds
bro.
great in your head. Like, it makes sense in your head, but
you'd have to like stall out the cartwheel beyond belief. Do like cartwheel handstand.
Or you have to go right before she touches the ground,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because you're just jumping into nothing.
That's so nuts.
But we're gonna land that stupid trick.
I was gonna say, man, that's the elusive one right now.
We're gonna
That's
land
the one. How many videos are there total? Like 6 right now or 7?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just whenever I go back home,
and you'll just bust out another one.
Yeah.
That's cool though, man. Like looking back on it, we always say it in my industry, like film this forever. So that's something you'll be able to like hang on to and show your future family and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
just me and my mom being idiots.
Yeah. Just having fun, dude. It's hella funny. It's like your own little like King of the Floor challenge every time you go home. That's dope, man. And so really quickly, like one of the things I want to touch on, because there's other kids that we've talked about this with, but with you coming out here to LA, I know one of the other things you've done recently is you signed with an agency. And what is your goals with that? Are you actually pursuing anything specific like that? Or are you just taking random jobs here and there?
Just random jobs, like trying to just do as much tricking as I can. I think I have like a unique look when it comes to tricking. And I think, just whatever tricking thing I can do. Trying to get into stunts too. I love just doing crazy stuff.
Have you got to do any jobs yet out here in LA?
We did a music video with The Rock's wife. Shout out Lauren. She just got married.
Shout out to her. Yeah.
But Dustin filmed that.
Okay, Dustin Shepard.
Dustin Shepard, El Dente.
Cool.
I love Dustin.
Yeah.
We did that. Just a lot of auditions right now.
Yeah, it's that grind. It's a numbers game. And who'd you sign with out here?
Clear. Yeah.
Shout out to the Clear family.
Shout out Clear fam.
CTG fam, Connor also. We got a room full of clear heads up in here, dog. Yeah.
No, it's exciting. Yeah, shout out Kyle.
Yeah, so everyone else out there, we're full. Don't come to Clear. I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, it's a really good resource, man. And like the reason why I wanted to bring it up is that like, for kids that are out there that are really thinking about it, it's not something where you can find a lot of info online. So like we try to give as much info as we can here. Kyle Cordova's with Clear Talent Group.
Yeah.
I'm with Clear Talent Group. You're with Clear Talent Group. Connor's with Clear Talent Group.
Yeah.
There's a big contingency of trickers that were all there. Nice was there. Jeremy at one point. So
I think Brian Lee too.
I think so. Lee. And they got a bunch of parkour kids as well. They just released an Extreme Division. So if you kids are out there that do like motocross or breakdancing, contortion, they just started a subdivision of extreme sports. So yeah, if you're interested, go look up Cleartown Group online, submit your stuff. You know?
Nice. Yeah, shout out
Hell
Clear.
yeah. Super cool, man. So with that being said, man, I know you're like probably one of the younger guests that we've had, but what is on the plate for you for the next 5 years? Is it just school exclusively, or do you have any other
I want to get my
goals?
business degree, just keep designing clothes. You know, I've kind of had like an idea of starting like a clothing store, but have like a spring floor in the middle. So it's just like a tricking hub to where you can buy clothes and, you know, do tricks in there. I also want to just keep doing king and floor stuff, hopefully try and get on TV, just still growing that, you know, just doing what I love, you know, just trying to stay happy. So.
And this is something I don't get to always ask every guest, because some of them are on here for so many different things and different parts of their career. But like, you're someone that's been a part of the tricking community since they were a kid, just like me. What do you think about the current state of the community right now? And, you know, where do you see it going? Or is there anything that you would like to see in it more, you know, because this is a platform that a lot of people are listening to at this day and age. So
yeah, no, I think about it all the time, just kind of where is tricking going to go, and like, how do we make money off of this? And it's hard because, like, you know, any established sport, they always have an item to sell, you know, like in order to play. So like basketball, you need a basketball and a hoop.
Skating, you need a board.
Totally. You need bindings. You need, you know, tricking, you need nothing. So you don't need anything to trick. You can, you know, take lessons or look up YouTube tutorials and stuff. But, you know, just trying to find something to where you can sell, it's tough. And, you know, going back into business school, you kind of take a step back and, you know, I'm passionate about this, but it's a smart business. And, you know, it's tough because, you know, tricking is so free, and it's like there is no rules behind tricking. You know, that's what makes it so special, is you can do whatever you want. And I think it's going to be tough to put rules on it. It's going to be tough to make people understand what it is. Yeah. And so, you know, I still think, you know, keeping up with the battles, keeping up with just posting. I think Shosei is doing a big dent in it. I shout out Bailey for doing it on Red Bull. Yeah. You know, I think it's in the right steps, but I think tricking is just still very in its early stage, and it's just trying to still figure itself out. That's cool. So, I don't know. I don't know where tricking's going to go. We'll see.
It's in a cool spot, man. Yeah. Thanks to guys like you that are doing things like, you know, King of the Floor and things like that. It's going to just take, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. But then again, it could just be one thing all of a sudden gets us enough attention, and boom, we're on some platform, you know. There's a lot of things that are being done around the world right now, so it's cool to see different things. Yeah. And is there anyone that you watch
tricking wise?
Yeah.
Shout out Eduardo.
Yes.
From North Carolina. He's my favorite to watch.
Okay. This is always a question I like to ask people, because I feel like the answer.
Yeah, he's probably gonna get all high and mighty about that and give me shit for saying that. But like, yeah, you're pretty good, Eduardo.
You're pretty good.
I love watching Alex Hunter. He never does hook kicks.
Yeah.
And it's always trying to make the most creative thing, and I love just his mindset when he comes to like just doing tricks. And he's taught me a lot of stuff. You know, I love tricking with Nelson because of his passion. You know, he'll call you a bitch if you're being a bitch. He'll say you didn't do a trick, and I like when someone keeps you to like that standard. Yeah. Who else in tricking do I like watching? You know, Shosei. I love watching Shosei.
Of course.
You know, always have to respect Michael Guthrie.
Yeah. It's crazy to see that we have...
Zen's also my favorite. I like you, Zen. Yeah. I like your creativity.
It's crazy to see that we have some of the top guys in the world are just these little teenagers from around the world training by themselves, you know?
Yeah, and it's crazy. We're all crazy.
Hell yes.
Why do we do this?
I don't know. For the love of the game. For the love of the game, man.
Doing stuff that no one's ever done before.
Exactly, man. So the last question I'll ask you, man, is what do you want to be remembered for? Do you want to be remembered for anything specifically in the community, or do you want to be remembered for stuff separate from tricking?
I just want to be remembered for just doing my own thing. You know, just doing what I think is right and what I think is cool. You know, just kind of being a leader in my own little what I'm trying to do. You know, I'm just trying to be unique, trying to be different. Just yeah, I don't know.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm just trying to remember, be cool.
There's not a wrong answer because it's your own journey, man. So, no, it's really cool, man.
Just being a good person, I think.
Yeah. And I think that you're on the right track, man. Like you said, a lot of the stuff we talked about as far as school is concerned, it's cool. You seem to be doing things for yourself at the current time, and that's the most important. So, you'll definitely benefit.
Yeah, and shout out Travis, ever since I was a kid, watching, the White Lotus. I was at the White Lotus closing gathering.
You were.
I was there.
You were young.
Super young, opening up Jam and stuff, inspired me since I was a little kid.
Dude, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. We're very lucky to, Jam would be nothing without guys like you walking through the door. And
you just made it a little place for us to love life. And stuff.
It's like what they say, field of dreams. If you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
We did.
You did it.
We're doing it, dog.
Yeah,
no, I appreciate it, man. We're very lucky to have you a part of the community. It's really cool that kids get to see such high-level triggers. And then, when guys like you move into the area and become part of the community, dude, the local LA kids are so spoiled, man. It's really awesome. So hopefully we'll be able to tie you into some events we got coming up soon.
Always down.
Hell yeah, man.
Always
so real
down.
quick, man, before we get out of here, I want people to be able to keep up with you and obviously with BAHT and all that. So swing that mic in front of you, look at the camera, and let them know where they can follow you and also your companies.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. It's Keenan.Carr. We have where we post all the King of the Floor, Bay Area Hustle Team stuff. It's just Bay Area Hustle Team on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel. You can follow me. Just look up Keenan Carr or King of the Floor. It's just King of the Floor channel. That's where we just post all the recap videos and stuff. So you can see us there.
Hell yeah, man. And if you guys haven't had a chance, go check out their most recent video recapping the Trickstrong event in New York. It was
Shout out Jack Vu.
awesome. Yeah.
Killed it.
Shout out Jack Vu on the edit, man. So hell yeah, man. So with that being said, guys, please be sure to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for brand new episodes each and every week, every Monday for brand new Jam breakdowns, and every Friday for brand new JAMCast, interviewing influential members of the movement community like Mr. Keenan Carr himself. So with that being said, guys, I got to give a very special shout out to Mr. Connor Simon for running Switch Rap and the cameras. Got to give a special shout out to our guest this week, Mr. Keenan Carr.
Thank you very
King
much.
of the Floor. And as always, guys, I'm your host, Travis Wong. Thanks for joining us here in another JAMCast. Until next time, we'll see you all soon. Peace.